What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. We are here with some breaking news for you tonight.
We pick our times to go karaoke, I think. We picked the perfect hour to go and sing some songs.
We've been on a belated Christmas night out with the whole company. And
we really pick our times, I think.
Yeah, it's been a bit crazy because last time we brought you an update, we said that Conor Gallagher looks like he's going to Aston Villa. Spurs are interested, but it's Aston Villa at the forefront of it. Since then, we have had Sammy Mockbell says that Spurs interested in Conor Gallagher, both concrete and accelerating. And then we had David Ornstein that said Tottenham are closing in on a deal of Conor Gallagher, 40 million, and the player is keen on the move. And most recently, we said, Fabrizio Romano said Tottenham have hijacked Aston Villa's deal for Conor Gallagher. And then we have had those 3 words from Fabrizio Romano. Conor Gallagher to Tottenham, here we go. Conor Gallagher to Tottenham, here we go. The player has just informed Atletico about his decision to join Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs set to pay 40 million euros fee, permanent deal to beat Aston Villa. Villa agreed a deal with Atletico today, but they leave the race as the player didn't give the final green light.
So literally just seeing that for the first time on this phone. I can't believe it.
Conor Gallagher has chosen Tottenham over Aston Villa. And that comes off the back of me and you having all these discussions being like, well, if there's a choice between Aston Villa and Tottenham, obviously he's going to go to Aston Villa. Well, obviously Spurs have given a better financial package than probably Aston Villa have right at this moment in time. Maybe he wants to come back to London as well, obviously being a Chelsea boy and a London boy. But I think this is a very significant deal for Tottenham Hotspur. We know Rodrigo Bentancur is out for 3 months, and look, we all know that we need a progressive passer. We need a high volume passer in the midfield, but we have so many players out. Beggars can't be choosers right now, and I think Conor Gallagher is a very significant deal for Tottenham, and I think it's a great deal for Tottenham.
I also think he comes to Tottenham with guaranteed playing time because of Villa, you've got Tielemans, you've got Kamara, you've got Onana, you've got McGinn, you've got all these players in central midfield. At Tottenham, we're lacking with numbers right now, with Bentancur, as you say, injured. Bergval has an injury at the moment as well. We don't know when he's going to be back. Sar currently AFCON, he's going to be back soon. So right now it's Paulinho and Gray. Literally, that's those only options.
Well, we've got Basuma and Sar's back next week.
Okay, Basuma, but he's out and outcast at the moment, so he's not really trusted by the manager. Sar's back next week, but we still are desperate for a midfielder. With Bentancur's 3-month injury, that takes him to April. So pretty much most of the season now, he's going to be out. I think Gallagher's been a long-term target for Tottenham. He was wanted under Ange Postecoglou last year. Whether that's a club signing or
I think it's definitely a club signing.
Yeah, or a manager signing. I think he's a good fit for Tottenham, in my opinion, because as much as he's not perfect for what we want, is he that guy who's going to control the pace of the game, going to control the midfield? He's not that guy. He's definitely more of a bull in a china shop, run 100 miles an hour, cover lots of ground, get around the pitch kind of player. But right now, with Bentancur injured and with lack of options, I think he's very much needed. And does he come into the club as our best number 8? He does. So I think for me, he's an upgrade on what we have. And I think it's a decent price at £40 million. I think that's what you said. He's a player who comes in looking to get into the World Cup squad for England. So he looks at Tottenham thinking, I'm guaranteed playing time. I'm going to prove what I can do. And I think as well, he's a target for Tottenham where we've definitely done our due diligence. We've wanted him for a long time. So I think it makes sense for Tottenham to kind of push the boat out and go for him. Now, I understand there's going to be fans with reservations because is he the midfielder we need? Necessarily, perfectly? Maybe not, but I think he definitely comes as an upgrade on what we already have. And I do think we probably need another midfielder on top of him.
Yeah.
But in terms of the energy he brings, the physicality, I think any manager, if let's say Frank isn't here for the long term, I do think any manager that does come in will appreciate what he gives.
If you're looking for this signing to plug the gap we need in terms of the profile that we need in the squad and the profile we need in the team, he's not the guy. But if you're looking to upgrade on what we've already got and keep a similar profile, like in terms of the profile thing, that needs to be parked for another day, and we need to keep looking for that player, and we need to keep, searching for that player to bring him in. But right now, he's an upgrade on what we currently have in the team, and that's the main thing, and that can only be seen as a positive, right? We've been chasing him for so long. Every time we bring up Conor Gallagher on a Tottenham update, we're like, oh, not this again.
Conor Gallagher. Believe it's actually happening.
And now he's going to be a Tottenham Hotspur player, which is crazy to think about. So I'm actually delighted with this deal. As much as, we all want that kind of high volume and creative passer and someone that can dictate the tempo of the game from deep. He's not that guy, but he definitely definitely represents an upgrade in the squad and someone that commands a starting spot in the squad, in my opinion.
I actually think Frank is going to really like him if Frank is here for the short term, at least at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I think the way Frank plays, I think he's really going to be suited to what Conor Gallagher gives, which is lots of energy, lots of physicality, and also probably more technical ability than what we currently have available, which is not Bentancur, not Bergvall, but probably more technical ability than Sarr. So I think we saw what he did at Chelsea. He can definitely plug in and provide a bit more quality in the final third, and we know the energy and the physicality he brings, and he's got a point to prove with England on the horizon, with the World Cup to give. So I think there's lots of reasons to be positive. I actually think we got a good price on him as well. So obviously,
would you have preferred a loan with an option?
Yeah, I would have preferred a loan with an option, because I think down the line, if Frank was to leave and another manager comes in who wants something a bit different, then we have that option. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case.
But even if another manager comes in, it's probably other players that will fall down the wayside.
Yeah, I guess from that point of view, you've got to look at the futures of Bergvall and Sarr and think one of them is probably going to have to go in the near future.
Sarr and Bergvall, yeah.
One of them's probably not got a big future here, because with Conor here, he's now our starting 8. So that's pretty much a position we have nailed down. He ain't coming in to be defensive midfielder, I don't think.
But you've got to think about Archie Gray as well.
And Archie Gray. And so the future of all those players are coming to a bit of a question.
Because Archie has been our starting 8 for, last few weeks.
But we needed improvement. We needed more.
Yeah, look, I like what Archie brings to the team. I like what Lucas brings to the team. But at the end of the day, they're not completely ready to start week in, week out, every game in the Premier League. And I think Conor Gallagher represents that. But
they've got to be question marked about why are Atletico willing to let him go so soon after signing him. It's been 18 months, is it? Yeah. After signing him. He obviously was seen as a coup for Atletico Madrid. Much chased after when he was at Chelsea. A lot of teams were looking at him when he was at Chelsea. It was actually seen as maybe a mistake from Chelsea to let him go, because he's a good young player and was doing well for them. So why have Atletico let him go basically after 18 months, and why are they so willing to let him go for a fairly modest fee? Are they taking a loss on him? I can't remember.
How much did they sign him for? I'm not even
Sammy,
sure.
do you remember? Yeah, Sammy's there in the background.
I think it was 30 something.
Was it 30? So they made a bit of a profit.
Yeah.
Bit of a profit. I think it's a good signing for Tottenham. I think it's a good signing. I'm excited about it. Does that mean our business hopefully is done in January?
No, it can't.
Obviously, right now, as of speaking, Sousa's coming through the door.
If it's just Sousa and Conor Gallagher from now to the end of it, that's a bad window for me.
Yeah, we need more than that. But at least in terms of gaps to plug in, left back we definitely needed.
Yeah.
Centre mid, in terms of Conor Gallagher, I don't think of too many centre mids we could get who are better than him.
And also, it's not a 19-year-old kid coming through. This is a guy with experience for playing in the first team for Chelsea, playing in the first team for Crystal Palace, and also the first team for Atletico Madrid.
But is it going to ruffle a few feathers with him being former Chelsea captain? Former Chelsea captain, right?
He was under Poch, yeah.
Under Poch. So is that going to ruffle a few feathers with the Chelsea fan base? He's now coming to Tottenham, he's going to be a player. It's a permanent signing. This is not a loan with an obligation to buy or an option to buy.
He's a Cobham lad.
He's a Cobham lad.
What were the Chelsea fans saying? As he was leaving Chelsea before he went to Atletico, everyone was saying he cannot go to Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, so
he cannot go to Tottenham Hotspur. Well, he's a Tottenham Hotspur player now.
Can you say we got one over on Chelsea?
Well,
we got one over on them.
Let's beat him on the pitch, and then maybe we can say that. But look, I think it will rile a few people up in the Chelsea fan base, in my opinion.
Cool. 38 mil.
38 mil. So they made about a couple of million.
Yeah, they've
got their money back.
Broken even, because I think it's 40 million euros. So that's around 38, 34 million pounds.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you've got to question why they're willing to take their money back so soon after signing him. But for me, I think for what we want, in terms of, there's two things we want. We want a controller, but we also need a replacement for Bentancur and for Bergvall, who are out. Yeah. So that sense, it's good, and it's a good replacement. In terms of, does he solve the midfield issue of a player who can get the ball on the ground and pass forward and all that kind of stuff? Maybe not. So I get that, but I think it's an upgrade, and I think Tottenham are clearly looking to upgrade on certain members of the squad.
I don't think we sign him. I don't think we sign him if Bentancur doesn't get injured.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
this is a pure reaction to Bentancur getting injured for 3 months. I think this is what we're seeing right now.
But for me, you probably can't get much better. And also, he comes in probably as an upgrade on Bentancur, and probably as a player where he comes in and then Bentancur in the summer, you're thinking maybe sell him.
In the last update, we spoke about Tottenham's transfer plans being potentially looking at players that are not playing and want to get in the World Cup squad, this is exactly what that is.
Yeah, it's exactly the right profile. So I think it's a good signing, and I think as well he's a midfielder that gets in the box as well, and he does provide a goal threat.
He should be able to add a few goals and assists for us this season, because his best actual work in the Premier League so far has come for Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
And at Crystal Palace, he was playing as like a 10-bet pretty much, and he was providing goal contributions quite consistently for them.
Yeah, for sure. And as well, Frank really values, I think, physicality, and I think he provides that. He's got brilliant stamina. He runs all day long. He's a big duel winner. And look, I'm not saying he's the most technical midfielder, but he probably is a bit more technical than Sarr. Similar to Bergvall. I think he's just a bit older than Bergvall. And I think at the moment, I think it's a really good signing. And I think, for me, it takes us up a notch in midfield. It gives us more options, and I think it ups the level of the midfield options.
Do you think this does anything in terms of fans' feeling and sentiment towards ENIC protests coming up this weekend?
Great question. Obviously, there are protests planned for the weekend because people are saying there's no signs of change. Does the Gallagher signing change that? I don't know if that's the level of signing.
There always seems to be something before a protest, Every time there's a planned protest, there's always something.
We've got to plan a protest every week. I think that's what you're saying. We just got to keep planning protests and maybe we'll get some more signings. Yeah. But I don't think Gallagher in itself is enough to say, okay, we won't do the protest.
But does it show intent?
I think it shows, I would say so, because they've acted quickly. Bentancur news announced yesterday.
But where's our winger? Brendan Johnson left on the 1st of January. Where's our winger?
Bentancur was announced yesterday with the news about his injury. Today they've acted. Gallagher.
Why are they not acting in the same urgency for the forward department and the wingers?
Here's the thing.
We don't have a right winger in the squad right now.
Here's the thing. What a lot of people feel: if there was significant change in the hierarchy and boardroom, would the Sousa deal have been done in November, and with a view of being already in the squad? You know what I mean? Should we be acting differently in the sense of not being reactive but being proactive in the window? You see across the Premier League, teams do deals before the window's even open to be prepared for the window. Someone like Sousa, why can't that deal be done and agreed before the window's even open, and then once the window's open, bam, he's part of the squad? Why are they agreeing a fee once the window's open? Even with Gallagher, I think right now they're being reactive, but it makes sense. But I'm not saying it's a bad move or what they're doing in the window is bad, but I'm just saying I can understand that what they're looking at the moment in terms of how we're dealing with the window, is it a departure to what we've done before?
No, it's completely the same.
It's the same thing.
It's completely the same. At the end of the day, at left back, we have gone for an untried and untested 19-year-old from Brazil. Nobody knows how good he is. That's the problem that a lot of people, or a lot of fans have been saying. Why do we keep going for kids? Last summer, we only went for kids. We went for Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall came in, blah, blah, Odebear, exactly, blah, blah, blah. First signing of this January transfer window, we've got a kid, 19-year-old left back. Now, we've reacted to a Bentancur injury and we've brought in a Conor Gallagher. That's exactly the same kind of transfer we would have done whilst Daniel Levy was here.
I'm not here complaining about it.
No, I'm not complaining about this transfer specifically, but at the end of the day, it doesn't signify change at boardroom level. It signifies the same kind of level of thinking. That's what I
agree. So I don't think this signing will necessarily perturb the protest. But for me, I'm happy with the signing. Is it the perfect signing for Tottenham? No. Is it a good signing for Tottenham? I do think so. Is it an upgrade? I do think so. Is it a player we've wanted for a long time? Yes. So I think it's a club signing, and I think it's a signing that has been in the pipeline for a long, long time. We've laid the groundwork for this deal for a while.
But it doesn't happen unless Bentancur gets injured.
But yeah, you're probably right about that. But look, at the end of the day, we've got a good midfielder. We've got a good player coming through the door. It's an upgrade on what we have, and I think it's going to improve what Frank has at his disposal, and I think it's going to really suit how Frank plays. Now the question is Frank going to be here for the long term? Will that remain to be seen? I don't think that
matters. I think this is a club signing in my opinion.
Regardless, I think Gallagher's a good signing. I like him. Why it hasn't worked at Atletico, I don't know. I have to ask some Atletico fans, but it hasn't worked there. But I think their form is our game.
How about this? Pochettino made Conor Gallagher the captain, right?
Oh, hello.
Pochettino made Gallagher the captain. Pochettino left because of disagreements regarding the likes of Conor Gallagher and potentially other players. What is to say that we haven't put the feelers out to Pochettino in the summer, and he reunites with Conor Gallagher.
See, we're laying the groundwork for a Poch return. We're laying that groundwork. I see what you're saying.
I'm just saying.
Just saying, maybe.
You never know. You never know. I actually think this is the direction of travel. I genuinely believe this is the direction of
Poch is
travel.
already making his signings before he's coming to the club. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that, but I think the direction of travel is that it's not going to get too much better over Frank. He's going to last till the end of the season. We're going to sack him, and Pochettino is going to come in.
Look, from my point of view, when it comes to people like Gallagher, I don't think we're going to get much better in this window right now, given the state of the club and given the position we're in and given the position with the manager. So I think from my point of view, getting players like Gallagher, you've got to be happy with it.
All right, well, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you happy with Conor Gallagher for 40 million euros? I'm actually delighted. Does it solve the actual problems that we have in midfield in terms of someone that can dictate the tempo of play, sit deep, and have that high volume of passing that we need? Because we just can't make 5-yard passes at times in the midfield. Let us know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. That is us over and out. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.